You just gotta keep living, man. Livin.
Welcome to Black Irish Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to an all-new episode of Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and Mike is feeling fresh today, Crawford. What's up, buddy? You looking all good, all comfy?
What's up, my God? Feeling fresh? I don't know about that one.
Yeah, so speaking of feeling fresh, we're diving right in because you have been avoiding your pay-ups for a while. We're going to talk about your bet debts. We're going to talk about your shave situation and your broken promises, pretty much. We're gonna have to bring it all to light today, sir. Okay, let's just get it out of the way. Okay, so have you shaved your entire body from the neck down since our last podcast when you said I will do it this week?
Yeah, not since our last podcast.
Okay, so another broken promise once again, Michael. Yep. Don't make me middle name
you. Because the whole world knows my middle name. It's literally my
I know,
name
but you know how when you get in trouble,
platform.
You never got middle named when you were in trouble as a kid? Like
No, we got full names.
Like all of them?
Yeah, all three.
Oh.
We were in trouble at home at my house.
I know, I thought it was like progressively worse. The more names they added in, it was like for me, it was like Brendan, then it was Brendan William. Then it was Brendan William McCorkle. And then it was Brendan William McCorkle, and then it was like a whole bunch of expletives. Like, that was the worst. When you got extra names that they didn't even name on your birth certificate, woo, that's when you're really in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, broken promises, man. Don't make me triple name you.
That's the one broken promise. But
no, it's not. Okay. So let's go over what bets do you have outstanding. Okay.
That's it.
No. So let's go over the bet. Hang on, just relax. Let's go over the bets that you've lost and paid in order. Okay. The status of your bets. Okay. Let's go through your betting history. You and I.
I don't even know what.
First bet was last season. We bet on our fantasy football game. Whoever won got to name the other team until the next time we played. Okay? Yes?
Yes. And you won, and my team is named. So that
Dax Dingleberries. That's very important because the next bet that came up was we bet the over-under on how many passing yards Matt Stafford would have last season. Again, I keep saying last season. This is how far back this goes. And he got over. Even in 16 games, he didn't need the 17th game. So that part was irrelevant, even though that was part of your argument. So even so, you were supposed to get your ears professionally cleaned out because why, Mike?
What?
Why was it? Why did I pick that if you lost?
I don't know. You think I have wax in there and I told you I don't.
Because you haven't used a Q-tip ever.
Because there's no need. There's no wax in there, bro.
Because somebody told you
I don't know what the fuck anything to do to get my ears cleaned, bro.
Your elbow or something like that fits in your ear. And then you just like forever believe that. You never adjusted your life according to new knowledge. So you have like
smart. It was a smart thing, actually.
Your entire life backup of ear jizz.
And when this happens, it's nothing going to be on there, bro.
Yeah, but again, you lost that bet. We are now all the way fully into another. We're halfway through the next NFL season. You have not paid up on that bet.
But again, that bet is. How do you pay up on that bet? Like, what do you want me to do, bro?
Either get a kit yourself.
I don't know where to get no air kit. You send me an air kit, or
I'll tell you where to go and I'll pay for it. And you go to a place.
You find the place.
All right.
Which you said you were going to do when you were here, and we never did it.
You keep putting it back on me, but I'll take some of the onus for that, for not forcing you to do it.
I'll take the blame for the one bet you not bang, and that's the shaving bet, and that I'll take full
which we'll get
responsibility
to.
for
We
that.
still haven't even got to that one. So,
But
the point is that you had not paid up on the earwax bet, which I'll take the onus. I didn't want to force you to do it, but I was like, hey, we should do that while I'm here. And you're like, yeah, I'll do it. And then we just stuck around on the couch. But as somebody who wants to get rid of their debts, I'd have been like, yeah, let's do this now. You're here. That's just me, different than you. That's it.
bro,
Difference in
I
personality.
literally said that when we were sitting.
I know, but then we also stayed on the couch.
So what do you want me to do? Like pick you up next time? I'll pick you up and put you on my back.
No, but you could have been like, stand up and been like, hey man, let's go. Like that's an option as well. And I'd be like, oh, okay.
Pick you up, put you on my back, carry you out.
You should give me piggyback rides everywhere we go. Next time you should have to give me piggyback rides throughout all the stores we go to. And I'll just be like, oh, thanks, buddy.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna carry you on my back, piggyback ride, and then
how would you? Okay, legit question here. How would you feel about that for reparations? Like instead of like carts, like white people just gave you piggyback rides through the grocery store and had to carry all your shit like a kangaroo.
This is
like, would that make you feel better? Honest question. Would that make you feel better?
I was going to ask you how you come up with this stuff, but this clearly it hit you just now when you thought about the piggyback ride. So this is nothing like something that you've been thinking about for a while. But I don't want nobody carrying me around, bro. I'm a grown man.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't take a piggyback ride as like an I'm sorry.
Probably be like, oh, that'd be funny.
What if okay, so what if you
come here around?
Hang on here. We're trying to solve racism, Mike. So what if you you know, people talk about getting a black card. So what if that's how you did it? You had a black punch card, and for every good piggyback ride you gave, you got a punch. And it was like, you guys, you know, as a community, you guys all just determined like, hey man, this is, you know, a place that's pretty cool, whatever. So like y'all only need like 20, and then you go somewhere like down south, you know, like you guys need 6 cards of 100 punches each, because I don't think you understand.
Yeah, we're gonna pass. We're gonna pass on the piggyback ride. I'm gonna go ahead and speak.
I think it's a nice offer. That's all I'm saying. When was the last time you had or gave a piggyback ride?
I ain't never given nobody a piggyback ride unless they are a child.
Yeah. So what? I didn't. There's no specificity.
I don't have any children, so.
You don't have nieces, nephews. You never gave no kid a piggyback ride. You're a terrible uncle.
I said about a month ago, maybe.
A month ago.
One of my nieces or nephew. But
okay. Well, then that's recent. So why you got so much big backlash towards piggyback rides, man? Why can't you just be like, nah, not for me?
You got to be backlash towards piggyback rides, but I'm not riding on nobody's back at the age of 40. That just ain't something I'm interested in doing.
Well, you ain't 40 yet, brother. So
I'm getting there.
Yeah, me too. But maybe you'll have to give it. That would just be like the ultimate. They'd be like, man, slavery's gone to a new level if you gave me a piggyback ride through a grocery store. Like, oh, so bad.
Piggyback ride through the grocery store.
Yeah, like a Trader Joe's, some hipster store, would they just be like, what? Their brains would break. Like nothing, just not a regular store. That would be weird. You'd have to go somewhere where there's like over progressive, where they're like, we don't put certain fruit next to certain, it's not kind to this community, and you're like, wow, just where do I find the frozen
they
egg
probably
rolls?
wouldn't even allow you to give a piggyback ride.
See, now that sounds like a challenge. Maybe that'll be your next bet if you can't pay up. Okay, so earwax still hasn't been done. Whoever it's on, it's coming up on a year, buddy. We're coming up. You're running out of time in a couple of months here. So we'll figure that out, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you get the ball rolling and say, hey, here's how I'd like to do it. Just let me know. You want to do it with a home kit, or you want to go somewhere and have it done? Either way, let me know.
I don't care.
I know, but you need to start making decisions to make my life easier.
It's not.
It's happening to your body.
So what? You won the bet.
This is like asking a chick if she'll do anal. It's like you have to do it up front.
Whatever you choose, I have to do. I lost the bet, so I have to do it. So you just pick.
No, I'm not.
What are you talking about? You won the bet.
I just want them.
You're not.
It's a discovery. It's a science project.
Okay, so I lost the bet, so you have to pick what you want. You won. What did you win? Did you win me doing it at
I
home,
want you
or did you
to
win me
start
going
paying
to a
your
place?
debts. Damn it.
Okay,
Okay, so
this
fine.
is
So then we got to start coming up with a vig here. So then the final one, the three bets is you were supposed to shave from the neck down. What was the bet for that one? I don't even remember what that one was.
I don't remember what it was either.
I think it was another fantasy bet. Like in the playoffs. Loser had to shave neck down. Either way, it was dating back to last season. And then you hadn't paid up your bet, your shave bet, by the time we played fantasy football this season. So now you can't beat me back to change your name back. Your name is Dax Dingleberries forever now because you didn't pay up your debt by the first.
I actually like Dax Dingleberry, so when I beat you, I can say they're on your top of your head.
Yeah,
I'm not even
yeah.
I'm not even upset with that name anymore because when I kick that, when I win this shit,
embrace the hate. I do like that. Embrace the hate. I'm a fan of that.
When I win the league, it's gonna be amazing to have Dax Dingleberries all over everybody.
Oh, we need to figure out a vig. We need to figure out a vig. Like, do I get to make your 5th round pick? Do you have to take a kicker in the 5th round if you don't pay up your shave bet by the end of the season? Like, you don't have a choice?
Cool. All right, bet. That's cool. That's the vig.
No, I'm not agreeing to that. That was a first option.
Oh, I don't know. You threw it out there. Whatever.
Yeah.
Create your vig. Create your vig, man. Tell me what the vig is. Go ahead. Floor is yours. The whole world will now know what the vig is.
How about you have to take a kicker in the 1st round if you don't do it by the end of the season? Because that's a whole year.
Cool. Everybody, the whole world heard this.
You agree?
I agree.
Okay, good. Because you for sure aren't winning this league. Not this year.
What?
So I ain't sweating that. But you need to get yourself shaved up, brother.
You said what? You said I'm not winning this league this year?
Yeah, no chance. But
I'm definitely winning the league this year. I'm definitely winning the league this year. Just
not only are you not going to win the league, you're probably not going to pay up your bet. And so then you'll have an excuse next year why your team sucks again because you took a kicker in the 1st round and you have hairy nuts and your team's going to suck once again. It's just, you're just...
I'm not worried about that.
You're parlaying in the wrong direction.
I'm not worried about
Stop the bleeding.
The bet will be paid. That's why I'm not. That's why I so easily agree. I'm not
yeah. You say that all the time, man.
All right, and then I'm gonna win the league.
Yeah,
you know it, and I know it that I'm gonna win this league, buddy.
Yeah, you're about as solid as Swiss cheese right now, brother.
I'm gonna win this league. I'm back fully loaded. I'm finally fully loaded, and everybody knows. Move, get out my way. Everybody knows I'm gonna win this league. Everybody in this league knows.
Hey, I ain't no punk bitch.
You all probably be talking like, oh man, Mike's finally gonna win this shit.
No.
Yeah, this is over.
There are a couple of people that are gonna make it tricky down the stretch, but not you.
I'm gonna win. I don't know.
Your name's gonna be Dax Harry Dingleberries next. Because
it can be whatever you want it to be as the champion. It's gonna be whatever you want it to be. Matter of fact, I might add the
just pay your debts, man.
I might add the Harry part just so you can put it on the trophy that way.
I'll tell you what, if you win the next 2 to 3 years in a row, we'll add Dingleberries to the trophy, to this guy's butthole, in honor of your team. Okay? How about that?
There you go, buddy. Because it's time. It's finally my year,
it's
baby.
Time for you to pay your debts. How about you have an asterisk next to your win if you don't have all your debts paid by the time the league's over?
Cool. You can make whatever you want because the debts will be paid. So do I look where?
You keep saying that. You've been saying that. That's the thing. Promises. Oh. Well,
just watch me win this league. Go, Mike.
You're a fancy pants darling. You know that. Oh, something that was fun was I did comedy in my hometown of Palmdale this past week. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. My folks got to come out and see me do comedy for the first time, so that was kind of rad. Some old friends came out.
Did the joint get shot up?
No. What are you talking about, man?
I know. I mean, you said Palmy was kind of tough going up. Afro man from there, just asking, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to play. I mean, like, I'll go places locally where it's dangerous like that, but I know the area. Like, I don't know Palmdale like that anymore. So it was just at a brewery. It was at this place called Lucky Luke's. Shout out to the Drunken Stoner Comedy Show. That they have their own podcast and stuff. It'll be aired up on there. But it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun just getting out to be doing it in front of a real crowd. It was rad. It was a lot of fun. But
did they laugh? Was it fun for you? Did you get some reaction?
But that's not the point, Mike. Here is the important part of the story. The important part is, once again, can you not hear me? Can you hear me, sir? Mike, can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, well then respond. Yeah. What is happening?
You said you were talking. You said
I know, and then when I say, "Can you hear me?" It's your turn. I
responded once I could hear you.
Okay.
I couldn't hear you when you said it.
Okay, so is the audio going in and out?
It was going.
Okay. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. Okay. So, in good old-fashioned fashion, I got a ticket, like, on my way. I got pulled over and got a ticket on my way going home. It's like I always get busted by the cops.
Bro, you must have been going extremely fast to get a speeding ticket in Cali.
I did not get a speeding ticket. I was getting on the freeway. I was getting on the on-ramp to go north. Next to me was, I didn't see it, but highway patrol was going south. And it was like, they kind of came up a little quick on my right side. I literally picked up my phone because it buzzed. Like somebody was at my front door. Took a look at the ring. Saw that it wasn't. Put it down. And then I see the car right behind me. And I was like, bro.
Got you for the cell phone?
I got a cell in hand ticket. And the dude was sniffing me down. Ran my name. Like, I got the good old-fashioned Brendan McCorkle treatment. It's like, I think at the DMV they have, like, they have, like, the bear for California, like the Real ID, whatever. I think it was just, like, they have one on mine that's, like, run this guy's info for the cops. It's like a CHP badge or something like that. I don't know.
How much is that ticket? Man,
I don't know. I'll find out. I haven't looked yet because usually it takes them a week or two to put it in the system anyway. Unfortunately,
I gotta go on the computer. Look, it's not on the ticket that he hands you.
No, because you have to go online. Like, they have to assess the fee. It's such a bullshit arbitrary process. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I know it really well because in and out of the courts for this and that.
Only not ask because we don't. Those are secondary offense tickets here. Like, they gotta be pulling you over for something else for phone tickets here.
Yeah, well, luckily, I was going to a show where we were getting hooked up with some weed and weed products. So I didn't bring my normal stuff that would stink up my car. So I was like, good. And I don't drink anymore. So I hadn't had any, like, pregame or anything. So I'm like, yeah, I got nothing for you, partner. Go ahead. But I did get that initial, like, oh. Like, my butthole puckered up. And then I was like, no, fuck that, man. You got nothing. No. And then I fought the urge to be afraid.
My man said my butthole puckered up.
Listen, man, I have not had the best interactions with cops. Dude, literally on the way to my best friend's wedding back in the day, I got pulled over with the my tux and his, because I was the best man, both of our tuxes in the front seat because that was my job to pick up his tux. I don't know this stupid old-timey crap where this dude can't be responsible. Like, he doesn't even, like, you're not even buying the suit. You can't even pick it up yourself. You literally are doing nothing here. This is foreshadowing the future of how much you're going to put into this. Just kidding. Not them. I'm just saying marriage in general. The dudes don't.
Are they still married?
What?
Are they still married?
No.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I got pulled over on the way there, and I'm just like, dude, I don't even live here anymore, and I still catch shit coming back to this town. It's like they got a radar, like right when I pass the point where I got my DUI, it's just like there's a little beacon that goes off, like they put like a GPS something in my neck or something like that, and I'm just like, ugh, like sense me.
They love you, and they love
right
you
in the same little pockets. It's just, have I told you the story where I got pulled over back-to-back weeks by the same highway patrol at the same spot doing the same miles per hour?
So how late for you? How late were you for the wedding, bro?
I wasn't. And the dude luckily didn't give me a ticket because this was towards the tail end of me like getting in a lot of shit.
Don't blame you for their divorce.
Actually, no, it was right in the middle of me getting into a lot of shit. So I was kind of thankful. I was like, oh my gosh, I actually got away, like, not got away with one, but it was like I was driving a Mustang with tinted windows and I was driving, 85-ish. And, it was like, oh, I'm sorry, man, but I'm going to this wedding and I just want to make sure I'm there on time. And so sorry, blah, and he let me go. So I was like very thankful because usually that didn't happen. But when I got pulled over back-to-back weeks, what happened was I was working down by LAX, which is like 65 miles away from Palmdale and in traffic central. And I was working with my dad, and we would leave work at 4, drive home to Palmdale, usually get there like 5:30 to 6. And then youth group church in Sunland, Tahunga started at 7. And so I was in my dad's Geo Metro at the time, which you wouldn't think these things could buzz that fast. But there's a giant hill coming down the 14 freeway in Palmdale through like the Agua Dulce Acton area. And it's like there's Watcher downhill speed signs, whatever, and there's a trap there that's 90% of the time not occupied, but sometimes it is. So I was always just pedal to the metal in that thing because it went slow as shit. I needed to pick up as much momentum as I could on the hill to go up the next one, because the next one I would end up going 50. So if I get some good momentum, I could maintain this 65 or whatever. So I get humming down this hill and CHP pulls me over. And he's like, do you know how fast you were going? I'm like, no. It's a Geo Metro. Like, but the speedometer only went up to like 80 or 80. I don't know. Not even 75, I think. And he's like, do you know how fast you were going? I'm like, no. He was like, 92. And I'm like, no. And he's like, yes. 92. He's like, 3 more miles an hour and I would arrest you. And I was like, I didn't know this could go that fast. I was just trying to get momentum to go up the next hill. He's like, don't. Drive slow. Stop it. He's like, it's not safe. I'm like, all right, man. And don't get me wrong, this thing was rattling hard. And, when you get the speed wobbles wearing like rollerblades or like on a skateboard or something, and it's like, my car was doing that. My dad's car was like, this manual transmission. But that was the thing. It was a manual transmission. So I was able to put it in neutral and it would pick up speed. It wasn't like an automatic that had a regulator on it or anything like that. Like it was just sliding. So then the next week, same thing. I got pulled over going 93 miles an hour and the cop was like, are you serious? And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, listen, I get home about 6. church starts at 7. I got to get there as fast as I can. And he's like, no, stop doing this. I was like, okay. Then I was like, oh, maybe I should skip church next week. I think I skipped church the next week. I'm like, I just can't even. If I get 3 in a row, he told me he was going to arrest me.
You're going faster than you got on your abdominal. That's unsafe. I'm glad I never had that.
In a tin can, too. Living on the
edge. You hit
edge.
Anything you fold.
My best friend was like trying to be a race car driver. I was used to going fast as a passenger, and I'm just like, I'm unfortunately confident for no good reason.
I drive extremely fast as a driver, but I don't want anybody driving with me as a passenger.
But it's also one of those things, like, you know, when you start sliding on the ice, the worst thing to do is hit the brakes. Like, when you're going that fast in that little rinkety shit of a car, you just got to kind of let it coast back to normal. It's like catching your breath back after doing a hard workout or something. Like, just let it come back to normal and then put it back into gear and get moving again. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I was kind of scared to fuck with it and throw it into gear. It probably, like, to slow it down by 20 miles an hour by putting it into gear is probably not a good idea. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I've never drove a stick shift, so I don't know how that works.
You don't know how to drive a stick?
I know how. I've been taught, but I've never actually, like, done it on a regular basis. I might have done it to, like, practice, but that's it.
Okay, so if you had to do it now, you probably could, but it would be rough to start.
I probably couldn't do it right now.
Okay, all right. That's where I was leading. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I know what needs to be done, but no. If I had the new BMW, then we talk.
I don't even know what that means. Why? Why is that?
You ain't got to do the catch the clutch and all that. It's just a one pedal start. You just hit the clutch. You ain't got to hit the gas. It starts up,
no, that's not. Just use it. That's not the same.
Yeah, that's not.
Do you know what a 3 on a tree is?
No.
So 3 on a tree is a manual transmission, but it's normally like on the old school like truck, if you will. How the transmission, you used to put it into gear on the, what is it called? The steering column. So the transmission, the shifter, the 3 on a tree was on the steering column, and it still had a clutch, a gas, and a brake. But instead of it being like next to the center console, it's up by the steering wheel. And so it had 3 gears and a reverse, and that's it. And so I learned how to drive one of those too. And it had glass racks on it, and it was giant. It was like, I always end up learning things the hardest way, but it makes everything else after that so much easier. You know what I'm saying?
I burned out a clutch in my day.
Stop saying that. What?
So I burned out a clutch in my day.
Yeah, I did too, but I was told it was okay by my boss. He's like, listen, somebody's got to make this delivery, and it's a work truck, so I'm giving you permission. Get it there. If you stall it 30 times, try and stall it less than that on the way back. Go get this over there. I'm like, okay, you get it. And then it was fun to learn. You know, it's just like trying to get in a groove, and that was hard. And not a lot. Everybody else was intimidated, and it's like, all right, don't worry about this. More truck for me, buddy. Oh, I got a new idea.
What's that?
I don't know if it's. I didn't want to look it up because that's weird. But what about women's urinals? Like, what if it was like a saddle? Like it came out of the wall like a regular urinal, but it just kept going like a scoop, and you just kind of straddled it. What do you think?
Too open. They need privacy, bro. Like,
you could still have it in a stall, but just for like the ready, set, go. And then do it like bidet style to where they could get a little...
But like, I don't know. I mean, because they can actually straddle open.
Because it could be comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh, they're not going to sit. So it's no different than squatting over a regular toilet. Like, it's the same principle.
I know, but I'm just curious if it would be more comfortable. And you could get a more efficient system of in and out in a woman's restroom. Because it would be like hey, this one's real quick. These stalls will rotate in and out faster than these ones will. You know that, so you can go walk over to those ones. Just an idea. I didn't say it was
that's probably not
an
one of
investment.
your best ideas right there, bro.
Okay, well,
Yeah, because they
Uh,
got to wipe and shit. Yeah,
do you watch celebrity sex tapes?
what
Do you watch celebrity sex tapes?
do you watch? Is like in the now? No.
Okay.
Have I
Are you a
seen?
celebrity sex tape watcher?
I've seen celebrity sex tape.
Okay, like on the semi-regular, on the regular, or
No, like one time each. If I
what's the
hear
I know, but what's
celebrities,
the frequency? Okay, so you will watch a sex tape once
yeah, I
just to see
watch.
what it's about.
Yeah,
And does it matter who the celebrity is, or do you have to be interested?
yeah, I have to be interested in
What's the
celebrity.
degree of
Like,
interest? Like if it's just some
like I need to
celebrity and
know
you're
who
like,
they are, and then it might. You know what I'm saying? I need to know who they are, and they whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like be
okay,
interested
so
in who
like
they are.
Paris Hilton, did you watch that one?
No, I have no interest in Paris.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, Dustin Diamond, would you have any interest in that? Screech.
No.
Okay. So you don't do it for fun. You don't do it just because it's a celebrity. You either have to be interested in the celebrity or think they're hot.
Yeah.
Okay. Cuz like that's the Kim Kardashian thing. It's like nobody knew who she was and nobody was really watching it for Ray J, but she was super
Kim
hot, so you're like,
Kardashian, and then R. Kelly. Like you want to see if it's really R. Kelly in that joint. You know what I'm saying? But that's it, man. You know, so I met R. Kelly peeling them people, and I was like, damn,
okay.
Kill,
I respect
you
because
wild dude.
yeah, I don't do that. Yeah, I can't watch that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. I used to
Yeah.
be somebody where if it was like super interesting to me and I thought they were hot, like if it was the combo, I would watch it once. And that was a while ago. Now I'm like, oh, they didn't want this to get out there. So that's not okay. That being said, I watched the Kim Kardashian one multiple times.
Kim Kardashian is kind of fire. Like,
Dude, when it
just
first came out,
body-wise.
I was like, what is this? And then I hate when it first comes out and it's all chopped up into like 10-second segments and you're like, what? That's just bare, like, that's not enough. Even if I warm up, that's just not enough time. By the time I hit the play to the thing and like, you got to give me at least 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds of content because then it gives me in the right position and, we can hook this thing up if we need to do a little quick pump on the lotion just in case for the last second.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't going well. Let's just pump this up a little bit. And then, like,
You're
maybe,
too funny right now.
maybe. But anything less than 30 seconds is kind of tough. Oh, speaking of celebrity sex tapes, I was making tuna things the other day, and my little dude needed help picking sticky candy out of his teeth. And he was kind of like freaking out a little bit. Like he really didn't like the feeling. But I'm like, what's the matter? And he's like, I got sticky in my teeth. Help me get it out. I'm like, okay, but I've just been draining cans of tuna. So I'm like, you got to hang on a second, buddy. Did I make the right move by like making him wait and do a little? I was just like talking to him, like, don't freak out. It's okay. But I had to wash my hands really good. Do you agree with that move?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Tuna is absolutely disgusting.
You don't like tuna at all?
I do eat tuna, but it ain't like something that you should be like have on your hand, putting it in someone's mouth and shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Good,
I agree.
good
That's why I was just like, hey man, if you're not choking, this can wait. I know it doesn't feel that way, but it can wait. Just be cool, man.
Be cool. Keep it smooth.
Oh.
Yo, my computer's tripping.
Most people trip about the tuna things that I make. It's an old family recipe. I don't even know where it comes from.
What
But
do you mean by tuna things? That's what the sandwich is called? The tuna things?
yeah, so you take like a smaller style roll, not a big French roll, but like a smaller style roll. I don't know what they're called. My family's gonna yell at me for this. I don't care. You cut it in half.
Like a Kaiser roll?
Sure. But something softer a little bit. And then so you put your tuna that you mix with mayo or whatever, just to make it creamy. You put that on the sliced open-faced bread, and then you put cheddar cheese on top of that, and then you
cheese on your
put
tuna?
olives, sliced olives on top of the cheese, and then you bake them.
So that just sounded so disgusting.
They're so delicious. They don't
So
taste
first of
like
all-
tuna. They don't smell like tuna, because if it
So-
does, then it's nasty.
First problem is you're baking mayonnaise, so that's disgusting. Right?
I love that that's the
That's
part you think
first.
is gross.
Because you're not supposed to heat up mayonnaise, so that's nasty. Second,
Says who?
says like the rules. Mayonnaise shouldn't be heated
What
up.
rules?
Mayonnaise is a refrigerated item. You ain't supposed to be like.
So are
heating it up in the
eggs.
microwave. What? You cook eggs? You don't heat them up in the microwave, bro.
Yes, you do if you want to make a quick little brekkie sandwich.
No, you don't.
Yes, you
That
do.
doesn't cook.
You
the
put them
egg
in
thorough
you put
enough.
them in a round Ziploc, like Tupperware thing, one of the shorty ones, and you crack an egg or two in there. You put it in the microwave. My wife taught me this, and then you just like you can whip it up to make them scrambled, or you don't have to, and you put it on for 20 seconds, 25 seconds, and then bang, it's the perfect size for your breakfast sandwich. Tomato, couple slices of avocado, a little bit of mayo. Breakfast sandwich. But tuna things are delicious.
That's why when you go to Subway and you ask them to toast it, they toast the bread without the tuna on it.
No, I tell them to do the whole thing. I say put the tuna, then put the cheddar, then put the olives, then put it in the toaster, please. That's the only thing I get toasted there. And it's delicious. It's not as good at Subway, obviously, but it's okay. It's when I got the hankering for it, it does the trick. You know what I mean? Like when you really want a burger, sometimes it's like, this place is open. It'll work. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations.
It'll work. When it comes to my food, man, I don't settle. Like every meal I eat, I want it to be exactly what I want.
That is true. What if you don't know what you want? What do?
I wait.
What if you're really hungry?
Then my body's gonna tell me what I want, or I'm gonna see something.
What if you're hungry and you see stuff that you know you can eat that you have, but it's not appetizing, but you're hungry?
Then if my body say we eat.
Okay. So technically, if you started keeping healthy shit in your house,
I'd eat it.
you would eat it. Okay. Not that you would want to, which you don't, I'm not implying that you should. I'm just curious with that mentality. So anybody else that has that mentality, it's always an option.
Keep healthy shit in your house. That will never be the case of mine.
That's what I did, and then that just forces me to not eat. Because I'm like, ugh. You know what I did start doing though, which actually it worked out well, is I roast a bunch of chicken, like at the beginning of the week or the weekend or something like that, and just hand tear it apart so it's like shredded, put it in a big bowl in the fridge, and then I'll do salad, and I'll throw chicken in there with just like buffalo sauce. It's pretty good. It's not bad. It's like it's the best compromise I can find. You know what I mean? I'm like, it kind of tastes like chicken. Buffalo chicken. And then it's crunchy. So, whatever. You know what else was crunchy? The Astros winning the World Series finally. How do you feel about this, Mike?
I'm happy for Dusty, even though I didn't want him to win. I'm not going to say I want him to win, but I'm happy for Dusty.
Me too. Good for you, Dusty. The most regular season wins without a World Series until now. Good for you, partner. And now, can we all get over
And I'm happy.
yes.
And I'm happy for Mattress Mac, man. Shout out to Mattress Mac.
That's your boy with his $75 million ticket.
$75 million.
Good for you. Can
and
we
he said
officially?
he's going to double back next year.
Good. Well, they got a good shot. Can we officially drop the they cheated thing now that it appears that they didn't?
They definitely cheated.
This year?
Like they were proven to be cheated.
No. This year, did they cheat?
No, they won this year fair and square.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Is now that they won fair and square, allegedly.
Yeah,
Hopefully we can fucking drop this shit.
That weren't cheaters. But do you think the Dodgers are gonna ever drop that shit?
No, because the Dodgers fans are bitches.
No, because they're the ones who got cheated out of fucking championship.
Kind of, but I mean, you know, if you can't hit a curveball, you can't hit a curveball. You also could not put runs on the board.
But if you know a curveball is coming, you got a better chance than me.
That's true. That's true. Listen, I'm just so sick of the complaining. So sick of it. Like, just suck it up and try again next time, okay? It's been long enough. Get over it.
Just saying.
I know, and so am I. Well, speaking of winners, Mike, you were a pretty big winner last week when it came to college football picks. So what we started doing, which I kind of like the system, it's easy for me to do, is we've been doing the ranked teams when they play each other each week. So last week, the big game of the week was Tennessee versus Georgia. Georgia was giving up 8, and yeah, they covered. We lost that one. We both picked Tennessee. Tennessee was just, they couldn't squirm away. They could not get away. But then you won the next 3. I took Bama minus 13.5. You took LSU. You won that LSU bet. That Alabama kind of jacked me out of some parlays, but that's okay. Because we both won with Texas covering against Kansas State minus 2.5. And then my big pick of the week was NC State covering, or they were getting 4 against Wake Forest, and they won outright. They stomped them pretty good. So that covered all my missed parlays. Was I had enough action on that one game to kind of make up for the bets I lost. Not saying that I was necessarily in the positives. So moving on to this week, NCAA football week 11. We have number 9, Alabama. Alabama drops to 9 versus 11, Ole Miss. And Alabama is giving up 12.
They're not that good, bro.
They're not.
The problem for Ole Miss is the basis of their offense is the running game. I don't know. It's scary. But for 12 points, I think I'm going to take Ole Miss at home.
See, but the problem with this game, the thing that scares me about this game, I do not like this game at all. I'll pick it, but I'm not happy about it. Problem with this game, it could easily be like a 21-7 game. You know, and that just, so that number, I don't care for it. That being said, Ole Miss at home, Bama not being great, and maybe having their confidence shaken a little bit, I take Ole Miss with the points too. So I think that Bama still maybe wins, maybe not, but close game. You know, Bama fans have their buttholes clenched with 5 minutes left.
They have to have their confidence. They haven't lost 2 games in how long?
I don't know. It's been a minute.
And I love it. Every moment of it.
So next ranked game is UCF, number 22 UCF versus number 17 Tulane. Tulane is giving up 1.5.
Give me Tulane.
All day. I'm going to hammer Tulane. Tulane is super underrated just because of their name, but they have been going toe-to-toe with some bangers and holding their own. So I'm taking Tulane. They gave TCU, they were a problem for TCU, if I recall. They're good. They're good. They have a couple decent wins on the record. So yeah, I'll give that 1.5 all day. number 25 Washington versus number 6 Oregon. And Oregon is giving up 13.5.
I'm definitely taking Oregon with the point. Now they'll cover. And let me be the first to apologize to Mr. Bo Nix. Because I've said some things about you, Mr. Nix. Wasn't a believer, my friend. You've come around. You've come around, my guy, and I'm going to give you your proper respect as I did when I tried to tear you down, Mr. Bo Nix. Shout out to Oregon, man. That team's good, bro.
I appreciate you doing that, Mike, because not a lot of people throw shit out there, including me. I'm bad at this. And then once they change their mind, they don't call themselves out and go, "Hey, just not for nothing, change my opinion on this." Not like you're calling yourself out or anything, just being like, "Hey, updated. Here's my updated opinion."
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Out.
I'm gonna go with Oregon 2 at home. Had it been reversed, had they been on the road, I'd been skeptical about the 13.5, but at home, I think they'll probably do a 21 point damage on them. So I'm with you on that one. Number 4, TCU versus number 18, Texas. TCU is getting 7 points. They're the underdogs in this match.
Oh, give me those points all day. Give me TCU flat out.
Like, they have to win out. They know they have to win out.
TCU is my new favorite team in college football.
I just can't believe it's that much of a... my brother's trying to call me to get a fantasy football trade done right now.
Ooh, sneaky.
It's not sneaky. I just told you about it. I didn't have to. I could have just...
No, you got to move up the sleeve. Don't worry. I veto all trades.
I could probably get him on the thing. No, we shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't do what? Add him to the pile? Why not? He's probably fun.
Let me see if I can make this machine.
TCU and Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so Texas is very much favored to win.
Yeah, but TCU is my new favorite team.
I know they're on a roll, but I mean, for the love of
they're going to be
PJs.
so good next year. And
yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking the points. Texas might win, but I'm going to take 7. Like, if I get...
I'm taking TCU to flat out win. I think TCU is going to finally break this monotony of all these powerhouse teams. Let's go Horned Frogs. Make the playoffs.
I'm down with that. I get to see LT on the sidelines at the college football playoffs. I'm down with that, dude. Just give me that. That warms my heart.
Hold on. His name is not LT. You got to give him another name, like LaDaniel or something. Like, LT is owned. LT is spoken for.
How come there can't be, like, offense and defense can have the same number? Why can't there be an offensive and defensive LT? Come on, let me throw that out there. Just take your anger out of this situation for a moment and consider it.
You walk outside and say the letters LT, no one's going to say LaDainian Thomas.
Unless you're talking, but here's the thing. If we're talking specifically about the Chargers or running backs or the TCU Horned Frogs, and you throw LT out there, you know who I'm talking about. If we're just throwing out in football, there is one LT.
You have to specifically be talking about the Horned Frogs.
But we just were. That's my point.
If you're talking about running backs, somebody might just ask you, Lawrence Taylor didn't play running back. Like,
yeah, that's fine. And then you can go, I'm talking about LaDainian Tomlinson.
So, yeah, you would have to explain yourself. So just to stop yourself from having to constantly explain yourself, you say LaDainian or, Tomlinson or like something. Give him another name.
Whatever, dude. He's amazing, and I love him.
He was really good. I think,
and he's just a sweetheart, from what I understand.
I don't care. I think he's a chump.
Okay, you're a chump. Why is he a chump?
Because someone who gives their life to that sport, your chance to play in the biggest game of your life.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're standing on the sideline.
I just wasn't sure what your beef was if you said he was so good.
If you're able to stand, then you should have been on the field. You should at least been out there to be a decoy or something. Yeah. You got Phillip Rivers out there in a knee brace with an MCL issue, and you're standing on the sideline. Oh, I got to cut more on my knee. Well, I'm not trying to hear all that. This was your best chance to beat these people. And you were going to stand on it, and you stood the whole time. So your knee wasn't that bad. You were standing.
Yeah. So, no. I just wanted to make sure.
I hate that for him, man.
Yeah.
I hate that for him.
All right. Okay. I'm with you on that. Like
He was a good football player.
I still love him, but I wanted to know where that came from, and that makes total sense.
Those type of moments bother me. He was a good football player, but those type of moments bother me, man. When you're
100%. Well, that I should have not liked Byron Leftwich as much as I did, but hot damn, man, you get carried down the field,
but yeah,
and you keep playing. You're like, no. Like I'm better at throwing than anybody else. I don't need to run. I'll stand here and chuck it. Just get me there. Like that's like I love that. It warms my heart.
Play I want on my team. We can run through the wall together. That's what I need.
Which unfortunately that doesn't translate to fantasy. But he was like my guy on the side because I'm like I can't like you that much, bro. You suck, kinda. But
that was my thing with Derrick Rose, man. Which is why I'm sad he had to ever leave Chicago because Derrick Rose was going to give everything he had to try to win. It didn't matter if he actually got it done. You knew. When he left the court, it was everything he had. He put it all out there. That's all I can ask, man. As a fan of sports, all I can ask from my teams and the players of my team, give it. You ain't gonna win all the time. If I can see that you're giving it your all, I'm okay being a fan of yours.
Well, let me ask you this: are you a fan of number 7 LSU or Arkansas, unranked Arkansas at home? Arkansas getting 3 points.
No, your boy's got something to prove now. He think he got a shot. He ain't about to lose. They're not losing no more games this season just for the
dude. Brian Kelly is in somebody's pocket. Some LSU booster is shoveling because I just went back and looked at their schedule and ranks because remember we were like, how did they get to 10? Like, remember we were a little flabbergasted by that? So check this out. Let me pull up LSU. Their schedule. Okay. So they're unranked at the beginning of the season. Okay. They lose their first game to Florida State. They beat Southern in their second game, 65-17. So they're 1-1. Then they beat Mississippi State by 15, 2-1. They beat New Mexico 38-0, 3-1. They beat Auburn 21-17, 4-1. They lose to LSU, get spanked. They were ranked 20 or Tennessee. They were ranked. LSU was ranked 25 going into their game against Tennessee, which they lost 40-13. Okay, so then they unranked beat Florida 45-35. Then
Florida was ranked at the time.
Neither team was ranked.
Oh, really?
Yep. Then unranked LSU plays number 7 Ole Miss and beats them 45-20. Next week plays number 6 Alabama and is ranked number 10. They went from unranked to 10. That's what happened. That's why we were like, where did this come from? And then now they're ranked number 7.
Win over number 7, and you go from unranked to 10.
Whoa. And you got spanked by Tennessee when they were ranked number 8. And that was the only time you were ranked. So I'm a little skeptical on this LSU situation.
How did they go from 8 to unranked, though, off of one loss?
No, LSU was 25. They lost to number 8 Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, that's why it looks so weird, because it was weird.
No, that's weird.
I'm still going to take LSU. Like, they're not going to have the slump game this week. They're going to come out with something to prove, and then whoever they play next week, take them with the points or the house or whatever. LSU is going to have their upset flip-floppy.
No. LSU won't lose another regular season.
You don't think so?
No, not Brian. Brian Kelly's not having. They're
I'm saying take the points. Whoever they play, they won't cover. It'll be a close game.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to cover, but they ain't losing no more games.
Yeah, they'll win this one by a touchdown at least, I think.
If that defense play like
that's
that,
my game of the week is taking LSU.
Yeah,
if
they really this good, they showed on paper versus Alabama, then they shouldn't lose anymore.
They should wax, yeah. All right, so let's move on to NFL Week 10.
Georgia game should be good.
Yeah, when it happens.
I hate the fact that LSU gets so many respect in the polls. Because Tennessee's going to backdoor their way in here. Watch this. Watch what I tell you.
Maybe.
Mm.
Maybe. All right, so moving on to NFL picks. We've got. I just picked a few games that I'm gonna gamble on this weekend. We have Broncos versus Titans. Titans are giving 2.5. Who do you got?
I'm gonna take. Broncos are giving to. Oh, I'm gonna take the Broncos with the points.
Ooh, I am not.
I get 2.5.
No.
Yeah.
I
Unless
think Titans.
Tannehill's back, I definitely ain't taking the Titans with that Malik Willis dude back there.
I think Tannehill is back. But
No.
even if he's not, Derrick Henry is going to do his. The Broncos suck. Broncos are awful.
So does Malik Willis.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that they win by a field goal, which is fine. That's more than 2.5. It's close. It'll be a close game, but I think the Titans cover. Texas versus Giants. Texans versus the New York Giants. Giants are giving 5.
I'll take Texans in the point.
Ooh, I got Giants again. Colts versus Raiders. Raiders are giving 7.
I don't care. I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders are going to crush. I'm going to
I don't know
hammer.
what the
I'm
hell
going to
the Colts are doing.
hammer the Raiders.
And the Colts might end up winning the game off some NFL bullshit. Like the NFL just always have these bullshit ass games that happen, and that might be it. This is the same team that beat the Chiefs, so like they're capable. And the Raiders, I don't know, they just gave up a 17-point lead to the Jags. But I just hate what the Colts did with hiring Jeff Saturday out of left field. He got some analytics to call and play. But 7 points, I changed my mind. I'm taking the Colts.
Oh, good.
I talked myself into that.
So we're opposites all the way. Great.
Yeah, give me the points.
Rams, Cardinals. Cardinals getting 1.5.
No Matt Stafford, no way they win. Give me whatever is going with the Cardinals and whatever they got. Okay.
I don't know which way to go on that one, honestly. I'm going to do a little more research on that one before I bet it. And I just want to ask you real quick, as we leave the NFL, what do you think the Eagles' final record's going to be? Regular season.
Well, it's not. It can't be 14-2, so that's impossible. Just for the record. But they can go 15-2. I'll give them that.
I put 14-2 as I thought that both of us were going to agree to that, and I wasn't sure if you were going to go with a 15 or a 3.
I'll give them 14-2.
No, 14-3 or 15-2.
I mean 15. I said 15-2. Then
yeah,
that again.
15-2. I think so as well. I think it's going to be 15-2,
and then it's going to be up to us if we can tie that record, because I think we'll be one of the two. And we just got to go undefeated the rest of the way. I don't know if we can. Our schedule says we can. But it's okay if I have to go in and win as a wild card. That's fine.
You are a wild card, baby.
Yeah, for now. But they better not lose no game along the way, because they got to play us.
Talking about you, Mike. I was talking about you. Yeah, right. You're like Steady Eddie, and I'm Mr. Super Ball off the walls. Crazy, man. Crazy. Speaking of crazy, what you watching these days?
Sports, man.
That's it?
That's about I don't really have time for nothing else, man. I'm a busy man. Got a lot going on in life. But
Well, I watched...
The chill time is coming.
I watched Ari Shaffir's new special on YouTube, which was awesome.
Who?
Ari Shaffir. His new
God,
special on YouTube. It's fantastic. Neil Brennan has a new stand-up special called Blocks on Netflix.
Brennan.
Yeah. You know who Neil Brennan is? Yeah?
Absolutely not, bro.
No? Oh, he was a writer on Chappelle's Show. He was one of the few writers on Chappelle's Show. Is one of his many claims to fame. What?
I know Colt Brennan.
Didn't he play football?
Yeah. He's all-time leading passer in college history. He played for YE, buddy.
Yeah. when he was throwing
It's
for
only very
435 yards a game, and you're like, it's 63-7, and you're like, oh, come on. Come on. Everybody's just drunk on the field except for those Hawaiian boys. They drink during the week. They power up for the weekend, and then everybody else is coming in town for the weekend and partying.
Ugly sidearm throwing. I don't know why they thought he was going to be good in the NFL. Everybody's running wide open.
And then who was the dude at Houston that had, incredible amount of yards?
Who?
I don't remember. Wasn't he at Houston? Somebody that had a ton of yards. And then didn't the Texans draft him?
Come on, Case Keenum?
Was that him? Didn't he have a butt ton of yards in college?
I mean, he had a great college career.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember his name. That's why everybody's like shits on Case Keenum, and I'm like, yeah, but he could still sling a rock. Like he could throw it downfield. He's not accurate, but if you're fast like a Justin Jefferson, like he can catch up to the ball.
Yeah, no, Case Keenum can sling it, man. Case Keenum had a nice little run right there in Minnesota, bro.
Yeah, he's one of those 1 or 2 year guys where you can every time he goes to a new spot, it's like, okay, for 1 year he'll be good.
Like the backup goes down, he might can win you 6 games.
You know what's always good, which I've been watching recently? I just started the other night, and I'm like pleasantly surprised with how well it's going. Is Seinfeld.
Seinfeld's a good show.
That was one of my favorite shows. My family's very, very deep into Seinfeld. It was almost a religion growing up, and that got me thinking, because I haven't watched it in a long time, because I've seen every episode at least minimum 15 to 20 times each, and because it was just always on at my house, always, and it was on different channels and different blocks of time, so we just changed the channel at different hours, and it was just always on. So that got me thinking, like, what are your top 5 background shows? Like, you could just throw it on in the background and it doesn't really matter. Like, Seinfeld is one of those shows for me.
So it's just all my favorite shows, because I can always throw them on the background and I don't care, because I know them by heart. I'll just fall asleep to them.
See, but here's
the Wire.
See, but I was gonna ask you, because I knew you're gonna throw out The Wire, and so let me ask you about.
I almost got away with it. I love that in the background because they're the dumbest criminals in the world.
So let me ask you, because something like The Wire, which is one of your favorite shows, like, it doesn't re-engage you at all?
No, because I know about heart, so I can literally be like falling asleep just listening to it.
Because I have, like, for me,
that many times.
That's Rescue Me. Like, I've seen Rescue Me so many times, the firefighter show with Dennis Leary, that I could just have it on in the background, and like, I know what's going on. I can fall asleep and it's still playing in my head until I just nod off. You know what I mean?
HGTV. I always play that at night. Selling houses, flip this house, all that house selling stuff. Y'all can buy and sell all the houses y'all want as I nod off. But it's good background.
Friends is one of those shows for me.
Oh, Friends is a great background. Because unless it gets to getting funny, then you get re-engaged. So,
yeah, that's true. See, but that's the problem, is like some of these, it's like Family Matters is on my list.
Family Matters is good.
But then, okay, so like my honorable mentions, and the only reason why they're honorable mentions is because I'll laugh too hard, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm awake now because I'm happy. And that's The Simpsons. The Simpsons I can't watch. It's too good. It's just always too good. Married with Children.
Married with Children, you can't go to sleep to Married with Children.
It's just too good.
It's just been too long to like, so you can literally like it feels new again.
Yeah,
like, I couldn't put Martin on in the background.
Martin is on my list. Martin's on my honorable mentions because I started trying to watch it at night and I was cackling so loud. I'm like, I'm gonna wake up the kids all the way down the hall. I can't watch this.
I can't watch that. That's not.
And like The Office. The Office is
funny, bro. Like, how could you ever go to sleep to The Office?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why it's an honorable mention. And then, so the last one to round out my 5. So mine is like my background shows are Seinfeld, Friends, Family Matters, Rescue Me, and it's been a minute, but Friday Night Lights used to be that for me too. I could always throw that on. How'd you feel about Friday Night Lights?
That was my show. You can even just fall asleep to that though. Once you've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, because I think I've seen it through like 2.5 times because I went to go watch it through 3 times, and between the second and third time I kept nodding off on episodes, you know what I mean, because I knew it pretty well. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, I know the rest of this one's boring. Oh.
There you go.
Oh totally man, but yeah, no, you can't watch Martin go to sleep. It's just you get banged over the head. Joke. It's so funny. Oh, so on that note, we'll wrap this up for this week. And guess what, buddy? No playlist.
Oh, because you didn't ask me for anything, so I didn't know.
I think we're gonna drop it.
Really? Why?
Because my heart's not in it anymore.
And that's perfectly a great reason to drop it.
Okay, deal. Is there? Do you want me to make one last anybody you want to throw on, like 1 or 2 artists? I'll actually do it, because the reason why I know my heart's not in it, because I still haven't done the ones for the last 3 weeks. And it's like, not that I don't have the time, because I definitely have the 15 minutes or whatever it takes.
Make a playlist of the playlist that you have made. Like, just go out and pick
that would take fucking forever. Okay, no. Nope. Yep, you're right. We're quitting it now. We're stopping. We're stopping. It's episode 97. I think we started on like episode 3 or 2. So that's 95, 96. Somewhere in that region. That's plenty. We don't need to get all the way to 100 to understand the process. I'll tell you what, though. How about this? How about if there's any recommendations of like, oh, I've been listening to this, or if there's something like, hey, I made this playlist recently, it'll be attached to this podcast. I'll do it like that moving forward. Or if we're talking and we're just shooting the shit about music and it's like, oh, hey, let's throw that together, we'll do it just organically from here on out instead of a forced thing every week, because that's the part that's getting tough. Like it feels more like a grind than fun, and it's been a ton of fun for a long time, but just recently over the past few weeks I'm like, it's not that fun anymore. So
totally understand it, bro.
Right on. I appreciate that very much. I was going to say something else and I completely forgot. Oh, anyway, tune in each and every Thursday or whenever you can pick us up, and do us a favor, share or like or follow or do something.
Just show love. Show love in any way that you consider showing love. That's what's up, man. That's what we want.
Yeah. With an emoji. I don't know. Don't do emojis. Those are stupid. Yeah, tell somebody about it. Check out.
Yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, be ready. Shit's going to be fun. I love you, Mike.
Love you too, my guy. You have a great rest of your evening.
You too, buddy. Peace.